to another episode of Luck Light Plays. Today we're starting a new game on 8-bit obscurity. This is Destiny of an Emperor, as you can see on the screen, published in 1989 by Capcom. Why is the idea that it's made by Capcom so important on this game? Well, it is a Three Kingdoms game, a Romance of the Three Kingdoms game, and from the early 80s to really now, most Three Kingdoms games are made by one company, Koei, K-O-E-I. If you know your Dynasty Warriors, and I don't know why it's hitting S. If you know your Dynasty Warriors, your Samurai Warriors, it seems the market is cornered on, it looks like my name won't fit here either. It happens sometimes. So I'll just do it this way. It's not going to matter, it's not going to show up in the actual game. It's probably the only time you're going to see it. There we go. Whatever. Boom. So, this game is like I said, it's a Three Kingdoms game. It's an RPG. And you play as as Liu Bei and his brothers. And you start at the Yellow Turban Rebellion. They call them the Yellow Scarves in this game. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's there's a novel made in I believe the 14th century called Romance of the Three Kingdoms, where it talks about 2nd century China, you know, from like 180 AD to about 280 AD, of like the war and the personalities that came from that era. And it's a very, very long book. It's 120 chapters, and there are maybe thousands of characters. But I've read it twice, actually. One time on an English translation, and like the next one was like a different translation that had like the names were a little bit different, and some of the like the book also has like poetry in it too, and the poetry was a little bit different. It's a very, very unique book. The best way I could describe it is when we think of Shakespeare, this is their Shakespeare. Like the Chinese have like 4 important books that almost everyone knows about. Like we all know about Shakespeare. In China, they all know about these 4 books. This is one of them. I believe Journey to the West is another one. I do not remember the other 2. I apologize for that. But essentially, back to the game. Sorry about that. You start off as Liu Bei and his 2 brothers, and what the premise of the game is, we need to level up, we need to free the Chinese, I guess, countryside from the evils of the Yellow Turbans, and it goes throughout the storyline. There is a point that the game diverges from the storyline itself, from the story of the book, and I will point that out. But otherwise, yeah, we have our mission told to us already. We have to fight the Yellow Turbans. We need to gather our forces. We need to recruit stronger warlords. I think that's enough exposition for now. So this gentleman here, our good friend, Maiji, is very intelligent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually drop one of the guys that I already picked up. Let me give you a general overview of what's going on here. You know, you got your talk button, your check button. That's pretty obvious. Formation. You can change the order of your guys. So we're going to do that. Put Song in. Song Young can go in the back. We're actually going to dump Song Young because he's useless. I mean, useless. You get, you start with your 3 brothers. show his stats. Yeah, 60-40. Crap. Okay. So let me go into stats. You got your strength, your intelligence, as shown by neatly colored bars, your attack power, and your armor class. Now, armor class is not like Cooler Radiance, it's not going to go down. So he has average, pretty good to average strength, really decent intelligence. His attack power is only 15 because all he has equipped is a flail that will go up with better weapons. And your armor class goes up by better armor. So he has no armor, his armor class is 0. TP, it's not toilet paper, it's tactical points. It's basically your magic points. Except there's no magic in the game, it's 2nd century China. You essentially do tactics. It's like, think of wartime, think of like, you know, you use those points and then you can do a fire attack, or, you know, something along those lines. So we have Guan Yu, who is his whole story is like he's supposed to have this really long, like luxurious beard. In this game, he kind of looks like a dwarf. Don't know why, but he's one of the strongest characters in the game with 245 strength, 255 being the max. Nintendo era, 255 was those kind of the max. Decent intelligence. He has a flail as well, so it's 15 attack power. His armor class is 20 because he has a robot. Zhang Fei, almost the strongest in the game. Intelligence not so hot. Got it. Song Ren, almost useless. But Mai Ji has good intelligence. That's why I'm going to keep him in my group. Now, as for formation, you can't use any spells or any kind of abilities unless you assign a strategist, and all your abilities will come from that strategist. So you usually want to pick the person with the highest intelligence. Now, the problem with that is whoever is your strategist will automatically be put to the end of your party. So if I have, say, 6 characters, which I did at that point, if I make Mai Ji my strategist, he would not be in battle, because there's a max of 5 people in a battle, so he would sit out of the battle. If you want to use your strategist in battle, you need to have 5 people or less, but I don't know why you would pick less, so 5 people. So he is the acting tactician. And what that does is every character in battle can now use magic off of his spell pool. He doesn't have any yet because we're level 1, but he will. But I didn't want him to not be in battle because he has good intelligence. And what that does is higher intelligence means a higher chance of the spell going off. So if I have a low intelligence and I use a spell, it's probably not going to hit as much as a person who has higher intelligence. Same thing with magic. I keep calling it magic. I'm going to call it magic. Same thing with magic defense. You are not going to get hit as much with spells if you have higher intelligence. So having high intelligence guys, they probably won't be, you know, getting magic thrown at them and being effective as much as possible. So the dumber you are, the more magic damage you're going to take. Other things to explain in this game is you got your money. I ran out of money. You have food. Every time you take a step out in the outworld or whatever, it's based on how many hit points you have too. As I get stronger, food will diminish more rapidly. If I run out of food, it's effectively a poison tactic. It's you'll start taking damage. So you need to use your money, you need to buy food. And that's just a general overview of how many hit points I got. Now, hit points actually also govern how much you're going to do damage. Yeah, equip your weapons. Because in this game, you don't have hit points so much as you have soldiers. So if you see soldier 314, those are my hit points. Because this is kind of a war game, instead of just hit points, you have soldiers, and as the enemy hits me, you know, that many soldiers are defeated. So it's essentially, they call it different things, but it's essentially hit points, magic points, damage, attack power. You know, your typical RPG. Alright, so I will become the heir of his kingdom if I can take care of the Yellow Turbans, Yellow Scarves, whatever you want to call them. I will probably end up switching back and forth because both names are kind of correct if you look at the actual Chinese. So let's get into a battle. Now, we're fighting 3 rebel forces. Rebel forces, any enemy unit that doesn't have a name, like an actual guy's name, are just generic peons. You can hit report to see their stats. They have like no stats. Let me tell you the different options here. You have battle, which is your attack. Tactics, which is your spells. I don't have any spells yet. I can defend, and I can use items, which I don't have any yet. Run away. You can look at the enemy, see their stats, see who's the strongest, and go after them. So I defeated 28 soldiers, 9 soldiers there, 24. And you essentially do that until the enemy is defeated. They're only going to do like 2 damage to you, as they're the starting enemies. Now, this button, the all-out button, speeds up the battle. It's basically a auto battle. You can hear the slices go. The rumbling one is the enemy hitting me with screen shaking. So there you go. And essentially, what I have to do right now is I kind of have to build up. I need to level up a little bit. I need to buy better weapons and better armor, and then I can take on the actual fortresses of the Yellow Turbans, Yellow Scarves. So this guy, you'll notice that the music changed. This guy is a actual general. So we're gonna have to fight him first. So we're gonna pound on him. He does quite a bit more damage than the actual peons. So what our strategy is right now is to we're going to be buying armor, we're going to be buying robes for everybody. And when I say robe, let me I'm going to be giving you actual Chinese history, I guess, throughout this series. The robe is not just, you know, like, hey, a cloth. Although it technically is. Robes back at the time were kind of weaved in with, you know, different kinds of, like, maybe leather, or maybe up to steel. So, it's not just, you know, I put on a bathrobe. But, we're going to be buying those. We're going to be buying flails for everybody. I think Song Ren still just has a dagger. And we're going to be buying bandanas for everybody because you can have 3 pieces of equipment, your weapon, your armor, and a headpiece, I guess. And, you know, that will get us enough armor to, you know, be able to survive the first actual story fights. And we're going to be buying some food and getting ourselves situated so we can actually almost start the game proper. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do that off camera. I'm going to do some leveling, I'm going to do some grinding, so you don't have to watch me do this. And when I come back, we will hopefully start the first story fight. So I hope you come back for that. Excuse me, my throat is... So I hope you come back for our first story fight. My name is Lucklight. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.